Hi, Fred B here. In this video I'll be presenting the 50-cent tour of my workshop. My workshop consists of basically two work areas. One, a breadboarding and test area, which you can see here, and a circuit assembly and fabrication area, which I'll show you later. In this area you can see I've got several breadboards here out on the table for you to see what they look like. From left to right really quick, the one on the far left is actually a full Fender 5E3 preamp that I've been working on for quite a while. The one towards the back in the middle is a Univox Super Fuzz. Well, it's not Univox, it's my version of a Super Fuzz that I've also been working on for quite a while. And the one on the lower right is a clear booster plus a switched mode power supply that boosts the voltage from a 9-volt battery to 36 volts to provide plus or minus 16 volt rails, so the clear booster can put out an output signal of plus 4 decibels, actually it's plus 20 decibels, 10 volt peak signal to boost amps into, the next realm. Alrighty, so you can see I have some test equipment here. I've got some dinosaur units from eBay, and in the lower left we have an HP audio spectrum analyzer. This thing cost $11,000 when it was new in the early 80s. I got it on eBay for about 450 bucks. Then sitting on top of that is a Hitachi oscilloscope, 15 megahertz oscilloscope, 2 trays. The thing is so obscure, no calibration lab has any information on it in order to calibrate it. Good thing it came in reasonably good calibration. I just had to spray some deoxide on the contacts inside, and it's worked great I've had it for close to 10 years now. It's a great little oscilloscope. And moving over to the middle, the big black thing in the middle is a crate PA head that I run my circuits through into a speaker, usually a 412. Beneath the PA head is another HP unit. This is from the 60s. This is a distortion analyzer, and it works great. It's got a really beautiful meter on there. It's true RMS sound levels, so it's a pretty nifty thing. And if we move over here, and we can see another meter just to the right of the distortion meter. We see a silver box with a meter on the front. Actually, a long time ago somebody told me a real scientist will build his own power supplies and calibrate his own equipment. So after I got into building amps and stuff for a while, I found that I needed an equivalent series resistance meter for capacitors to tell if the capacitors in old amps have gone bad. And these things cost like $100 or more if you want to buy one. I found the plans for one on the net, so I put this one together for under $20. It's the meter itself cost $15, and I needed to buy a few components. I cut the end off some cheap leads for a multimeter and stuck them in there, and the thing works great. Then directly in front of that is my variable voltage, low voltage power supply that I put together. And then going to the right from there, you see something else with a meter on the front. That is a variable voltage, high voltage supply, plate supply. And we can look here below the bench, and you can see a variac sitting underneath those supplies. I used a variac to drive that variable voltage plate supply, and I can go anywhere from 0 to 800, almost 1,000 volts with that. And then to And further right, we have a filament supply. But then we can come over, we've got my old WaveTech signal generator here also beneath the table. And this is where most all the work happens. Sit there and work out the breadboards, and actually one of the places that I do a lot of work is on a computer running a spice simulator. My design process is to get the original schematics and then build a complete spice model of the original circuit, and then once I feel that I have a good understanding of the circuit, I'll take it to a breadboard and breadboard it, test it, see how it works, listen to it, and then maybe I'll go back and forth between modeling my circuit or how I like it and the breadboards. So there's a iteration going on there. And then when I have the thing all worked out on the breadboards, we move over to the construction station, the wiring station. In this image, we can see here my fabrication station. I got my Hacko variable heat soldering iron and my Hacko desoldering gun. If you're going to get into building amps, I highly recommend you get something. These are industrial quality tools, and the soldering station only cost about 80 bucks, but the desoldering gun cost about $200, and it was worth every single penny of it. It's made life so much easier when I got that thing. And then the gray gun next to the desoldering gun is, the desoldering gun is the gun in the middle between the three in the back. And the beige one is a heat gun for doing heat shrink wrapping. And we got some hot melt glue gun there. A drill press for drilling chassis and whatnot. And this is, for not my hand tools, pretty basic here. You just sit there and wire the thing together and solder it up. These two stations are basically all there is to my workshop. I have one bigger bench with a scroll saw and a belt sander on it, but it's full of other stuff. I want to hide that one for the moment. That's my humble workshop. Hope you enjoyed the tour.